Hello, my beautiful co-creators. Today is my 10th day of my Law of Attraction manifestation video. It's a 100-day journey. It started obviously 10 days ago. And today, for the last 9 days, I've been talking about certain different laws. And each is, they're entwined. They're all like, it's all collective. They all go together. If you really think about each of them, one sort of cannot exist without another. So all the laws are very, very important. So the first one, obviously, forgiveness. Without forgiveness, it's really hard to move on. So today's law that I wanted to talk about was law of acceptance. Now that could mean in many ways. I'm just going to use what works for me or how I use it in my life. Just like, law of allowing, law of acceptance they're kind of like together. It's so important. You must allow, something to happen in order to come in or go out. So it's all so important. So today, I want to talk about acceptance. And what happened was, since this is my live, not live, but since this is my every single day, I don't make this video a day before or day, 2 days before. This is like every single day I see what is going on in my life, and I try to say, okay, this is what happened today, so how can I apply this law of, law of attraction and what we do in our daily life? We're attracting that. So even though this is about, manifesting, combination of everything, unless you follow what really the rules that are involved in manifesting our heart's desire, it's really not going to work. That's why I talk about certain topics that I do, because it's, they have to meet with each other. So today I wanted to talk about law of acceptance. Yesterday I had to make a huge decision where I had to accept what was in the moment. Everybody that knows me know that my husband's in the military. That's nothing new. However, we've been, we knew that he was going to go off. He was going to go to war again, deployed. This would be his second deployment, and it was finalized yesterday. So he's going to be deploying over the summer. So even though we knew about it, I knew about it, accepting the fact that it's actually going to happen or it's about to happen, it's kind of hard. But when he told me, he was kind of scared to tell me, because he knows there's a lot involved in it. He's going to be gone for a whole entire year again. And it's not just me, it's my son. It's about, he's worried, are we going to stay in Vegas? Do we want to move to San Francisco for a year? And, do I want to keep my job, or do I want to, there's just so much involved here, because he wants us to be, we're around family, and he wants us to be safe. So there's so much factor in it. It's not just like, okay, he's going after war and, she'll be fine. It's not that easy. There's a lot that needs to be taken into consideration. But when he told me, I was like, oh, that's a bummer. Really? I kid you not. That was my first reaction. And I think my reaction was like that because I have been doing so much soul searching regarding this, and that I have prepared myself, and I've really prepared myself. And I knew in my heart, the day that he told me that it was going to happen, I was going to accept it. And I did. I accepted it. And, people tell me, Karen, doesn't it bother you? Absolutely it bothers me. How can it not bother me knowing that my husband's out in a danger zone, and then, I have a child who's, he's only 11 years old, very close to his father, Of course all that bothers me. But, here's another thing that you have to realize about acceptance. You have to take responsibility for what has happened. I have to keep in mind, my husband has to keep in mind that when we signed up to be in the military, We knew what was going to happen. And now that it's happening, there's no way you can blame someone else because we created this reality for us. We said, yes, we're going to do this. We're going to change our lifestyle and this is how we're going to live. This is part of what we chose. And so now that going gets tough, I can't sit there and blame everybody under the sun. I can't blame my husband, or I can't blame myself, or I can't blame anybody. There has to come to a point in your life you have to take responsibility. You have to take responsibility of what is happening. Instead of blaming the situation, instead of blaming others, you have to see your part in it. And our part in it is we chose to do it. And now that we have to make this huge decision, we have to own up to it, and we have to accept it. We have to accept it, but not just accept it out of frustration or out of anger, but really accept that, okay, this is where my life is right now, and this is where I have to stand my ground. This is one place that I cannot go out of balance. I have to stay true to myself, true to my family, and I have to stay in an attitude of gratitude and not in fear. So I don't want to make this about me, but I have to use what my personal experience is so you can understand. So here's my question to you. Is there something that is going on with your life that you're having a hard time accepting? Maybe something has already happened, I have a couple of friends that are going through the process of divorce. Just recently, one of my friends is going through a process where, it's about to be finalized, and she's just having such a hard time with it. But here's the thing. In order to make something happen, two people have to be aligned. And if two people are not aligned, it's never going to work. So you have to accept the fact. You have to see the whole picture and say, okay, I don't have to like the situation, but I have to accept it. Because just like law of allowing, law of forgiving, unless you accept, oops, my battery's getting low. Unless you accept, the energy is not going to move. And law of attraction, it's all about letting go of what no longer serves us, allowing what we need to come into our present moment. So acceptance is part of it. Accepting what is. Maybe you're not happy because there's so much going on. It's just like, I can't keep up with it. This world is going too fast for me, Where do I start? Where do I begin? Where do I go? And it's just like crazy. But this is where you just have to stay in your center. You have to allow. You have to accept. And it's not easy. Tell yourself, if you're going through a situation, look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, look, I'm going to accept that, but it's not easy. And that's where you bring in your higher self, your God, your creator, and you say, you help me through this process, And there's another thing I learned over the weekend that I want to share later on, but it has to be the right moment to share how we can give and we could receive from our creator. I never knew this even existed, that you could do this. It's just so much talk about love, allowing to give and receive. What a beautiful time to learn this, where you could have that exchange with your divine. I'll do this for you and you did this for me, but I'm going to go a little bit into details because I've just learned it myself. So I don't want to say anything unless I've experienced with it myself. I will never share anything unless I have personally experienced it, even though everybody's experience is different. But anyways, I'm totally out of topic, but today's message, love, accepting. Think about something that it's hard for you to accept, Maybe parents, split up. Maybe, if you're young and, your parents are split up. It's like children when they go through marriage or separation, it's really hard for them to accept. But as an adult, if you accept it, they feed off of our energy. If the parent is okay, the child is going to be okay. So the adult has to be okay before a child can be okay. So you have to not just do it for yourself, you have to see who else is involved in the situation. In my situation, it's not just about me and my husband, it's about our son. So if he sees me happy, if he sees that I've accepted the fact Daddy's gonna go for a little bit, but if I tell him, keep him, upbeat and positive and help him know, instead of putting that fear in his heart. If I could just tell him the good stuff, he'll buy it. Kids will believe whatever we tell them. If we feed them good stuff, they'll accept that. If we feed them fear, that also gets accepted. So come up with this, come up with something that you can think of that it's hard for you to accept. Maybe something happened a long time ago and it's hard for you to accept. Like, oh God, I can't believe this happened to me. Sometimes we do that. We just turn around and say, I can't believe that just happened to me. But that's when you come into your center and say, but I accept it. I don't have to like it. Darn it. But I accept it. And you have to accept it with love and with gratitude, and know that when something is gone, something new and better is always coming along. I know it's hard to see it, but that's where faith comes in. Have faith and believe. And the love, accepting what is in this moment. Yay! Okay. I'm getting all this energy on me. Ooh, maybe I should go meditate and try to create something. Ooh. Anyways, my beloved brothers and sisters, accept what is. And let the divine take you where it may. Like my husband said, he said, I don't want you to worry about what's going to happen to me out there, because anything can happen to any of us anywhere. Here I could be worried about, he's out in the field, in the danger zone, but we walk out the house and anything can happen to any of us. We're not even safe in our own houses with all the stuff that's going on. So don't worry about what already, that hasn't happened yet. There's a quote about it, but I forget how it goes. Maybe I'll just put it, later on in this link or something. But anyways, here I go again. I talk too much. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Tomorrow is my 11th day. 11th is my lucky number. Good number. I love 11. I wonder what I'm going to talk about. I'm excited. Anyways, God bless. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.